His Excellency, Mr. Mark Donovan, Acting Chief of Protocol, His Excellency Pedro Villagra, Dean of the Diplomatic Corps, friends from the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade and Austrade, Excellencies, dear Professor John Mintz, queridos colombianos y colombianas que nos acompañan hoy. Today is a real privilege to commemorate the National Day of Colombia at the Larry Sitsky Recital Room of this prestigious National University of Australia. We wish to express our gratitude to the Australian National Centre for Latin American Studies, ANCLAS, to Professor John Mintz and his team for hosting us today. Colombia, as has been pointed out, celebrated on the 20th of July the anniversary of its birth as an independent nation. But on this occasion, in 2013, Colombians had an additional reason to celebrate and rejoice. Nairo Quintana, a young Colombian 20 years old from the province of Boyacá, was second in the Tour de France and won the mountains and the young riders competition. 203 years have passed since 1810 in a long and sometimes complex historical process where our democratic institutions have consolidated in a strong framework that is an evident sign of our political stability and the sound foundations of our democracy. This celebration takes place in 2013, in a period where all Colombians have a reason for optimism and confidence in our future as a nation. President Santos, together with his governmental team, we are all working every day for a new Colombia that is becoming more modern, more equitable, and just. Our economy is growing above the world's average, and therefore investors are interested in coming to our country, generating jobs and opportunities for our people, as it is happily the case of Australian companies, 45 already established in our country. We are working closely with Australia to strengthen our political and economic relations and to deepen, widen, and diversify our common agenda based on shared values and democratic principles. The private sector in both countries is looking for new opportunities for investment, particularly in the mining sector and related services, and also in agribusiness. In the field of education, and I see some students here from several universities, almost 10,000 Colombian students are studying here in Australia. This will certainly contribute to create strong people-to-people links, and it has enormous potential in the fields of technical training, postgraduate studies, scientific research, and business contacts for both our countries. We also hope that Australian students can also come in growing numbers to Colombia to learn there the classical Spanish that we speak, take advantage of our high-quality universities and institutions, and enjoy the kindness of the Colombian people. Today's concert is presented under the auspices and support of the Plan of Promotion of Colombia from our Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and is intended to be a symbol of the cultural integration of Colombia and Australia. It is an honor for us that Dr. Carlos Alvarado, a well-known artist and conductor born in Colombia, has accepted to conduct the North Sydney Chamber Orchestra, integrated by young and talented Australian musicians. The program is varied and it includes classical and universal pieces by Dvorak, Britten, and Elgar, combined with compositions by Colombian authors, starting by a world premiere from Carlos Alvarado, the Serenata Fantasía for a String Orchestra. Maestro Alvarado, estamos muy contentos y orgullosos de que usted nos brinde hoy en esta ocasión esta magnífica presentación. Además de ser usted un director conocido no solamente en Australia, sino a nivel internacional, sabemos que ha llevado siempre a Colombia en su corazón y ha mantenido fuertes vínculos con nuestras orquestas, universidades e instituciones. El caso más reciente de esta integración fue su reciente viaje y presentación con la North Sydney Chamber Orchestra en la ciudad de Bogotá en marzo de este año. I have just said that we are very proud to have Maestro Alvarado today here with us, and we know that besides being a conductor that is well known both in Australia and at the international level, we know that he keeps Colombia in his heart and has maintained strong links with our orchestras, with our universities, with our institutions. They have just arrived from Colombia, where they had a very successful presentation in Bogotá, in el Teatro Mayor Santo Domingo, in the National University last March. From the compositions inspired by Colombian rhythms and composers, you will be able to enjoy the diversity of our multicultural country, where each region has its own artistical expression and identity. Let me say a few words about the porro, a rhythm that you will hear today through the works of Lucho Bermúdez and Gentil Montaña. Porro can be defined as a cultural synthesis. It is a rhythm and a dance that belongs to three ethnic expressions, the first being the European music danced by the higher classes of the colonial times. This dance was not performed by the people who waited outside while preparing to light their candles and begin to dance after the introductory part. A second element is of African descent, with a reminiscence of the African slaves dancing in popular festivities, and the third factor is brought from the Aboriginal culture and its nostalgic rhythms and instruments. Nowadays, the people from the Caribbean coast of Colombia and all over the country carry this music in their hearts as an expression of extreme joy that we want to transmit to you all today. Aires de Chocontá, a composition inspired by a small village near Bogotá by Alex Tovar, will bring you to the high Andes plateau, where melancholy and nostalgia are the predominant feature in the middle of the green mountains and fields. I wish to thank Maestro Alvarado for his presentation and the young talented Australians of the orchestra. The Serenata Fantasia was especially created for your orchestra as a gesture of appreciation by Maestro Alvarado for your recent trip to Colombia, where you will always be welcome anytime you wish to return. Queridos colombianos y colombianas que nos acompañan, disfruten este concierto que hemos preparado con gran afecto para que resuenen en estas tierras amables y acogedoras de Australia los sones y ritmos de nuestra querida patria, para celebrar con alegría y con nostalgia a la vez un nuevo aniversario de nuestra independencia. Please enjoy the concert and thank you all for being here today.